48 days, ladies and gentlemen. 48 days. And after 48 days, the gang is back together. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Emerald City Sports, the podcast. Episode 55 at this point. If we get copyrighted for that, Josh, we know who to point the finger
It's
at.
less than 3 seconds. No, we're good. It's less than
It's less than 3
seconds.
seconds. It's less than 3
We're
seconds.
chill. The gang is back together. Jacob Yinavile is back, ladies and gentlemen, coming back every once in a while, just like Roman.
That was the wrong one. I meant to go. I meant to do that. I didn't.
And
think it
we're
was the
back
other
to going
one.
crazy with the sound effects, ladies and gentlemen. It is in the middle of sixth season, so if you can't tell by my voice, I am definitely sick. So just don't be surprised if you hear just me like coughing like crazy in the background.
Mid-season form.
I'm in mid-season form, yeah. So, speaking of mid-season form, you know what league is currently almost in mid-season right now? That is the NFL, and we got to talk about the Seattle Seahawks here. And they got a nice, I would say, quality W over the Cardinals, 20-10. Look, sometimes wins can be ugly. Sometimes wins can be really good to watch. This was kind of an ugly win, but it was a quality win. In a way that, the defense was amazing, but the offense was eh. Jacob, we have not heard from you in a while, so I'll let you take the reins here. What did you think of this game against the Cardinals?
I thought the game was fine. I mean, we had to get our get back from last week. Last week was very poor. Even though I think last week, I didn't really think we deserved that win. This week, we had to just go out there and get one. I thought it was actually not even that bad, like you were saying, an ugly win. I didn't really think it was an ugly win. I just think our offense didn't go off, which we've been kind of spoiled by that in previous games this year. And I really like how our defense played, and as you said the defense did really good. Yeah, we just had good pressure on the quarterback this game compared to last game, and we just all around played decent. Nothing too great, but I think if we just play fine, then we'll win most of our games because of our talent.
Yeah, speaking of talent, Josh, let's go to you over here. We got to talk about the rookies this game. JSN finally gets his first touchdown. Jake Bobo, an amazing TD grab, possibly catch of the year contender, and then Witherspoon just doing his thing. Josh, what did you think of the rookies this game?
Remember last week's episode, I said that if JSN gets a touchdown, Jake Bobo will at least be able to match it. And he absolutely matched it on Sunday. That's not even a contender. That's not even a catch of the year contender. That's guaranteed catch of the year. His toe, like not even the rest of the foot, his toe was barely in. Like, how closer can you even get to that catch? It's insane. It's amazing. And we've has turned Jake Bobo into a really good wide receiver out of basically absolutely nowhere. People thought it was going to be JSN going to go absolutely crazy, which he did. And then D. Eskridge, who's, I think, coming back from whatever suspension or injury or whatever. He's coming back from something. But, Jake Bobo, and I haven't even talked about the rest of the rookie class. Come on. You got to give props to Devin Witherspoon. There's a reason why he's the 5th overall pick. And JSN, obviously. These past few years, these rookie classes has been absolutely wild. And this game has shown us why.
Bro, that hit that Witherspoon put on Rondale Moore was just like, that was like Cam Chancellor-esque type of hit. It was scary to watch. And this is a guy who, Witherspoon for a cornerback, he is not even that big. Like, isn't he like 180 something pounds? He's 6 feet 185. That's not super big for a cornerback. When you look at guys like Sherm, who was like what 6'3", pretty big guy. This guy folded Rondale Moore. Look, Rondale Moore's small, but he folded that guy. I don't know how Rondale Moore kept hold on the ball, and I don't know how he kept that for the first down. Which props to Rondale Moore, by the way. But Devin Witherspoon just shows he's a beast. He can pick things off. He can get sacks. He can force fumbles. And he can leg crazy hits. He was supposed to have a pick and a sack that game if it weren't for penalties. So, like you said, Josh, I mean, Witherspoon is really showing why he was that number 5 overall pick. That defense is it's just so weird to watch the defense stay stout. Like we have not seen this since the Legion of Boom days, where the defense just is just forcing three and out after three and out, forcing punts, forcing people to run horrible fake punt plays. I mean, this defense is finally what we were hoping it to be for like the last 5 years. They are finally showing up, and it's great to see. Jacob, who on that defense has really stood out to you this season so far?
I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, but Boye Mafe for sure has shown out. And even before the season, Pete Carroll said that he was the most improved out of the rookies from the year before. And I could definitely see why he said that. He's playing amazing. Having Bobby Wagner back, just his presence on the field makes the energy of the team a lot different. And just knowing that he's back and with the boys, I guess. Um, I mean, there's also some other great players that are out there that are making a difference. Of course, Devin Witherspoon, who I think is the front runner of Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know, him and Carter are up there with each other, and yeah, I mean, especially just those three guys are just out there, the powerhouse, and yeah, Trey Brown also has been playing a lot better than in previous years. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited just to keep watching this defense. When the Seahawks have the ball, I'm maybe even less excited because I'm honestly want to see the defense work. Like it's so satisfying watching them being able to stop these decent offenses and stuff. Like especially the Lions. When we played the Lions, that was crisp.
And you got a valid point saying you're more excited to see the defense because obviously on Sunday the offense wasn't exactly the best. Like you had some bright spots. Obviously Jake Bobo, JSN played amazing, especially with DK Metcalf out, by the way. And then Kenneth Walker went over 100 yards. But Josh, the big question mark here has to be that red zone offense still not being able to punch it in, and Geno Smith making some very questionable decisions, especially around the red zone. Josh, what were your takes of that offense on Sunday against a team like the Cardinals, who we shouldn't really be struggling in the red zone with?
Yeah, that offense, as you said, just like not looking good at red zone. And I feel like it's like a weird psychological thing because we're able at what the random midfield or 30 to get 10 yards pretty easily. We can easily just punch the ball in. But I mean, just as the red zone, just things get tough. You don't want to throw Geno Smith. I feel maybe he's just like thinking he doesn't really want to throw that interception and makes very poor choices. And then as well as you get into the red zone, the defense gets really, really tough, especially right at the line of scrimmage. So punching the ball in is going to be very hard. No, I mean no matter where you are, but it's just the red zone even more because all the players are compact around this single area. And I think that's just what's confusing the Seahawks instead of an open yard, open field thing where you can turn some little play into something really big. And I think, I think they can fix it, but they just need to get around that they should take risks around the red zone. I think once they start to break through, which they can with next week's game, then I think they'll be able to solve that problem. Also, in the comments, prayers up for Martin's health.
Good.
Spam some
Ah,
W's. Spam some W's
Spam
in
I
some
there.
W's.
definitely
W's in the chat.
should
W's in the
not.
chat.
I don't think I should have ran on Saturday because yeah, my cough just got worse after that. Oh well. Oh well. We carry on, right? The show must go on. It happens. It happens.
Yes, sir.
Um, look, the Seahawks, for the amount of injuries they had that game, I would say that's a pretty quality win. Ugly, but quality, right? It's not. I mean, it's a pretty obvious, like stereotypical score, 20-10. But that just shows that you played decent on both sides of the ball, and that at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do as a football team. Bad news that came out of that though was Uchenna Nwosu, who is most likely going to be out for the season now with a pectoral injury. He is considered our best pass rusher, And so this is a rough hit for that D line. But considering how the D line did play in the last couple of games, would you guys say you guys are worried about it? Jacob, let's go to you first.
I wouldn't say we're too worried for this season. I think we should be a little bit. I mean, we got to get Gino going, but for the future, I don't think so. Because honestly, I don't even think Gino is really going to be our franchise guy. I think he is a great quarterback. He has a great story, and I think he did not get the respect that he deserved, and he didn't write back. But I still don't think he's fit just to lead an organization and to be the number one quarterback. I think he's a great bridge guy. I think he'll win you some games. I think he could bring you to the playoffs. But if we're going to take that one step further into going to the Super Bowl, I think we'll need a different quarterback. And this season, honestly, I'm not expecting the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. I mean, come on, I don't think anyone really was. But I mean, if they do, that'd be awesome. but
Hey, anything could happen.
I shouldn't. I'm For them to make the playoffs. I'm not too worried. I mean, Geno Smith, he's still solid, and I think the rest of the team built around him is quite amazing. So I don't think there's too much to worry about.
All right. Oh man. These coughs keep coming out. All right. Ah,
Are you okay?
unfortunate. I have water right here. I'll be fine. All right. We go to play against the Cleveland Browns next at home. Throwback day, by the way. Okay, first off, let me just say something. Am I the only one that notices that like the Seahawks tunnel has continued to like change? Like they had the metal thing with like the Seahawks thing on the side, and then last year for like the Broncos game, they changed the tunnel to like a big LED screen. Whether they kept the metal tunnel in like the inside, and so they run through the metal first, then they run through the LED screen. Now they changed it, so the metal thing is not there anymore, and that was like some big like thing you'd see at like a camp, like those like tents that you can walk through. It's weird. Like I feel like I'm the
Yeah.
only one that notices it. Like it's like I see no one say anything about it. It's weird. I'll just say that. Anyways, we play the Cleveland Browns at home, throwback game. We get to see these throwback jerseys on the field for the first time. It's gonna be so hype. It's gonna be so cool to see those because they are super clean, much better than the creamsicle jerseys of Tampa Bay. Leave that out there. But the question mark for Cleveland right now is who's gonna play QB, because Deshaun Watson left the game with a concussion. He was cleared, but then Stefanski would not let him back in. So then they went with PJ Walker for the rest of the game, and they did squeak out the dub controversially with possibly some ref help. Um, so I mean, the question is who's gonna play QB. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Seahawks defense, no matter who is at QB, I feel they can get the job done. Josh, what do you think previewing this game? Who on that defense needs to continue to step up?
Who on that defense needs? I think. Oh, that's tough. I think it's going to be the pass rush, not because they've been bad. These past few games, they've been, I mean, really good. I mean, they've helped pressure, so good that we actually get interceptions, and that's crazy. Uh, I think you take a veteran guy, a the best pass rusher in Uchenna Nwosu, and you don't think anything's gonna change. I mean, he's a leader for this line, and I think taking away that big piece of it means the rest of the D line has to step up if they want to keep that same momentum they've been riding the past few weeks. No matter who the quarterback is going to be for the Browns, but it doesn't matter because they're just. I think the Browns. It doesn't matter who's going to be QB. I think the Seahawks will be able to hopefully get it done.
And Jacob, on the offensive side, obviously red zone is a clear issue, but when we're like in between the 20s, he seemed to be moving the ball pretty chill, and it's pretty easy for Geno Smith to get his passes to his tight ends or his wide receivers, or Kenneth Walker pounding it with the rock. What do you think the offense needs to do to just get into the end zone? What kind of things does Shane Waldron need to cook up?
I think it's just the O line being able to stop the pass rush. I think our run blocking, no matter how terrible our run blocking is if it's a really good run block, if it's a really bad. I don't think it will matter because Kenneth Walker is going to be able to sneak out the yards that aren't actually there because he is an amazing running back, and I think he's a top 5 running back so far this season. And yeah, just our offensive line stopping the pass rush because when Gino's in the pocket, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I get a little scared sometimes if he has a little bit too much time because he has to try to make different moves. But if the O line gives him enough like time without pressure, then he should just be fine waiting for receivers to get around. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, stopping Miles Garrett is a huge thing, especially after last game. You saw what he
Yeah,
did last game. Wow. Just
it's
wow.
gonna
And
be. It is
don't
gonna be.
forget,
It is gonna be hard to see because I think Miles Garrett will like at least get 2 sacks on Geno Smith, especially with that O line that is still banged up. Miles Garrett will have a field day. It's gonna be rough to see, but I mean, if you can at least keep him neutralized for a couple snaps, you can get some big plays out of it. What are your guys' score predictions for this game? Let's go to you, Josh.
Ooh, okay. So I think obviously I think we should be able to get the win over the Browns no matter who the quarterback's gonna be. Um I mean they don't really have any pretty good players except like Miles Garrett, but I think he might end up affecting this game a lot more because of our battered down O line. So I'm gonna say give me the Seahawks 16-10.
Ooh, ugly game again. All right, Jacob, what do you think the score is gonna be?
I was gonna say something very similar, 17-10. I mean, I just don't see this being a high scoring game because of the great defenses.
All right. So it seems that the opinion here is ugly game, lots of defense. I'm going to say 14-13. It's going to be a lot closer than you would hope it would be. Probably another heart attack. Someone in Seattle is going to get a heart attack watching this game. I say we're going to get another Devin Witherspoon pick 6. Right there. 14-13. Seahawks squeak out a victory. Witherspoon, another pick 6. That's my bold prediction for this game. All right, let's go around the NFL here. Some very interesting matchups happen, and a big upset in which the Patriots, led by Bill Belichick, got an upset win over the Bills. Why do the Bills always just start sucking against like bad teams? Like Josh Allen got outplayed by what, Zach Wilson, and he got outplayed by Mac Jones or whatever. Like this is, should the Bills be worried? I don't know. What do you guys think? Jacob, let's go to you.
I don't think the Bills should be worried at all because I think they're going to be good enough to have a playoff record going into the playoffs. And if they do bad against bad teams, they're not going to be playing any bad teams. It's the playoffs. So if they're able to just have that, motivation to go beat a good team, and in the playoffs they should be just fine going out and beating good teams. Although I don't think the Bills are a Super Bowl team. I think they're a playoff contender and would be able to sneak in maybe 1 or 2 wins in the playoffs. But I just don't think they're really fit to go that far.
And then how about those Lions getting absolutely smothered by the Baltimore Ravens? Lamar Jackson looks like he's going back to his MVP form from 2020. I mean 2019 to 2020. And it looks like the Lions are going back to the same old Lions that they were before. Josh, what do you think about the Lions getting destroyed?
Well, obviously, it's not expected to just like get absolutely hammered. 38 points. I mean, I think the offense just wasn't able to do what it could, and then the defense has always just been giving up large point totals. I mean, just look at the Seahawks game. That's to show you. But yeah, I think it shows some problems that the offense isn't can't carry every single game when the defense is absolutely horrible. And this game can absolutely shows this weakness and causes a little bit of maybe they might collapse, but maybe they could hopefully this could be used to learn some stuff to get better for next week.
I mean, to be fair, I think that the Lions have got their division kind of covered right now since they have like a huge gap Because like second place is what the Vikings. They're 2-4. The Lions should be chill. I mean, it's one really bad loss, but at the end of the day, they should be winning their division because of how horrid their division really is. A lot of referee miscues this week. A lot of controversy where like the NFL internet was just blowing up in anger over what. Let's see here. The Browns. Oh my gosh. Browns Colts game. Horrendous pass interference on a ball that was nowhere near possible to catch. Then you have the Dolphins Eagles game Dolphins Eagles game on Sunday night, where the Dolphins got like 10 penalties against them and the Eagles got none. Like that's kind of ridiculous. Like what is going? Should refs be fined for these like bad calls or something? Josh, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think they'll be fined because I mean, that's literally their salary. I mean, they're probably living off of this, uh, or maybe even working this second job just to be able to afford just basic expenses. I don't think fining's a good idea, and it will, I think, stop future referees from joining the NFL. Um, I mean, obviously, there's only so much you can do to educate these refs about it. They make mistakes. As a referee for soccer myself, you make mistakes. You see some things, yes. Um, but they're a reason they're in NFL because they're the best of the best. Because if all this week's slate of NFL is bad, just look at college football every single week.
It's funny you say that NFL refs need to work a second job to afford things because I just looked it up, Josh. An NFL official makes an average of $205,000 a year, so I don't think they need any second job to make ends meet. I don't know. People are always just assuming the refs got the money,
Maybe.
they got the under, they got the over, something like that.
Well, it depends on
gotta
what
make it
position.
work, right?
It depends if they're the ref or the umpire, or depends.
Yeah, that's true. How about those Broncos though? I mean, they got the win over the Packers. They got another win. That's pretty good. I mean, good to see Russell Wilson out there not fumbling the bag. But I don't even know if Russell's the problem anymore. I feel like Sean Payton's a bad coach. I feel like Sean Payton got carried by Drew Brees all those years, but that's just me. I mean, it's good to see the Broncos get a dub though. That's pretty cool. What else happened? Taylor Swift got shown on the screen 50 times again. I think that's about it for NFL news. How about we go to our fantasy league here?
Yep.
Jacob, you have been kind of having fun out there in this fantasy league. You've been kind of winning. I mean, what? You're 4-2, about to be 5-2, I think.
Yeah,
And then let's
I
see
won
here.
by 30 this week.
And then Josh is about to take an L
I am going to lose. Yeah.
because you decided to put in
I
Brian
will
Hoyer.
drop to.
Why Brian Hoyer? Like everyone knows Brian Hoyer's a backup QB for a reason, man. I don't know what you're thinking there, but nice.
I took the risk. Well, I couldn't pick up any other QB from my Dak Prescott. My QB is on the bench. I could have picked Minshew, which he did. He's still on the waiver wire, and I'm requesting him to be my backup quarterback. So nobody take him.
I might
that's
just
in
do
the
it
league and
live
watching.
on air right now. No, I'm just kidding. I have Gino and Brock. I'm fine. I have Gino and Brock Purdy. I'm
I
chilling.
already submitted a waiver claim. It doesn't matter. It's just based on the waiver order.
Yeah.
Order.
Do I have a
which,
higher waiver order? If I have a higher waiver order, I just might do it just to piss you off. That'd be
Depend.
funny.
They haven't updated for this week yet because this week's games haven't ended. I'll move the 4 and 3. I'll drop to second or third place, which is okay. I drop out of the playoffs, which Jacob, honestly, the playoffs are way too small for 18-man league. 4 teams. That's like a college football playoffs instead of an
he's
NFL
treating it like the college
playoff.
football playoff.
Gotta make it. I have to make it more, tight and close because I feel like
People are gonna drop out anyway. I mean, like
I feel like I don't know.
Seattle Ravens down, that they're gonna be down or teams that are gonna be down 2-3 games, and we're approaching the midseason. It's gonna be very, very hard for them to reach the play. Really, really hard because
That's
they
why
need.
you gotta be good throughout the throughout the
I know, but
league.
it drops off teams like really, really quickly.
Yeah, it does
Because
for sure.
there's only 15 weeks of regular season because you did double week matchups. So yeah,
Well,
I mean that's like an entire month of where 14 teams, it doesn't like matter at all except the bottom few because they have
the
to
big
play for the punishment.
the big pot. The big pot. That's why. That's why you gotta. That's why some people. That's what helps with people. I mean, obviously, you and Martin and me, we all pay attention to our fantasy leagues. But for some of my friends that kind of slack off and don't pay attention as much,
Hey, I mean that's their loss,
this
right?
kind of helps
They,
them.
they have to pay the price. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their fault.
I will say, for a guy who's historically horrible at fantasy football, I'm on the come up, guys. I'm about to win, and I'm about to be 4-3, just like you two. Cause I swear I started off the season like 0-3, and I won like 4 straight. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am on the come up, guys. My team is finally showing up, and I am getting crucial wins. So watch out for me. I'm the dark horse. I'm the dark horse of this league, guys. You guys gotta watch out. I'll say that. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm getting up there.
Um,
I'm getting up there. My team is solid. My running backs could be a lot better because what? Josh Jacobs 5 points, Ricky Mostert 6 points. Not it, but I had Puka, dude, Darren Waller, so I was fine. I'm chill, and because
nice.
Owen's team was just not it. So
He might be watching this.
my bad,
We're just gonna
Owen.
leak people's names on
Come
the
on.
podcast.
Come
Sure.
on.
No. I mean that's
Easy.
fine. No, there's so
Yeah,
many
yeah. No,
Owens
no.
in the world.
Is he
Uh,
0-4? No, I'm just kidding.
no. Okay, so the for the league, I'm projected first now. I mean, I know the projections don't really matter, but I don't know. That's saying a
Bro,
little
Josh is
something.
insane.
projected.
He was projected last, and now he's projected third. Like,
I'm gonna lose, so
huge
I'm gonna
come
be
up.
dropped to about 8 because I lost to a team that was also tied for first place. So this was a really big matchup, and I had Dak Prescott, Jamar Chase, and Garrett Wilson all on their bye week.
Absolutely
So yeah,
unfortunate, man. But
I had Bijan. I had started Bijan,
dude,
and they didn't
what even
say
happened to
until right when
Bijan,
the game.
bro? Like, what he
He
like? He
yeah.
got like
he was
0
limited
touches.
carries
Yeah,
or limited
it's
snaps.
something about him being like sick, but
Limited
they never
snaps.
even put him on the injury report, which is like supposed to be.
I know.
That's like a
Yeah.
that's not something you're supposed to do, right? You shouldn't. I think the Falcons are gonna
Yeah.
get investigated for that, but that was interesting to see because like he got like what 0.3 points, disappointed like half of America. Oh well.
Something like that.
All right.
Anybody want to take Dak Prescott off my hands?
Yeah,
No, thank you.
I am chilling. I have Gino and Brock Purdy, so I'm fine.
I have Jordan Love and
okay.
Jared Goff.
That reminds me, I should
That's
definitely.
honestly for an 8 man. That's such a good solid like rotation.
I should
Like
definitely
that's
bench Geno
honestly
Smith
nice. I'd
next
rather
2
have
weeks.
that. I'd rather have that than like
Against Cleveland?
Justin Herbert and a terrible.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'd
well,
rather have Jared Goff and Jordan Love than like Justin Herbert and a terrible backup.
that is very,
honestly.
very fair. All right, that's enough of the fantasy talk. Let's go over to.
Wait, but we got breaking news coming out of the NFL. The 49ers lost! On Monday Night Football, Minnesota Vikings
Wait,
defeat
whoa,
the
whoa,
San
whoa,
Francisco
whoa,
49ers.
whoa. Wait,
What?
first off, Kirk Cousins shows up on primetime. Huge. Standing ovation for
Yes.
Kirk Cousins. Second off, we have the same amount of losses
Wait.
as the Niners now.
Gotta get him
So, I mean, technically they are still ahead of us since they have more wins, but that's because they have not had a bye yet. So, I mean, we're right up there with them. This is their second in a row they've dropped, so might be the collapse of the Niners
Brock
coming
Purdy
down.
cannot get it done.
Brock Purdy could not get it done, even with CMC there, who he got another touchdown. Like what, 16 touchdowns in 16 games with a touchdown in a row. Man, McCaffrey's just built different.
He's still a beast, but nothing.
Not enough. Not
Nothing
enough.
they can do.
That is huge. So what? I mean, technically the Niners are still ahead of us because we had a bye, but once the Niners get a bye, and if we get a win that week, then we would be tied, and then that just brings a lot more to the stakes for these 2 games that we have against the Niners later in this season. The one on
The
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving game's gonna be absolutely crazy.
That
Niners.
Thanksgiving game is a lot on the line. And then the one in December too. So I mean, these two games against the Niners have a lot more implications than they did at the start of the season. It is gonna be. I mean, do you guys think we could win the NFC West? I mean, I don't know. I feel like their roster's stronger than ours, but if it's just a little bit of luck goes our way,
We got heart. We got heart.
You got
yeah,
hurt.
clear eyes, full hearts.
They're an injury away, and everyone gets hurt in football. So
That
I
is
don't
true.
Just
think
like the
that's-
Seahawks every single week.
That is true. That is
Yeah,
also very
that's true.
painfully accurate. But I mean, NFC West is in the glimpse. This is gonna be a great, great finish once it gets around late
also-
November, early December.
I also got good news. The Stros are about to lose to the Rangers 11-3.
Yep, we're in the top tonight.
Huge.
Rangers are gonna go
And
to
it's
the
game
World Series.
7. Let's go.
Astros are not gonna choke again.
Max Scherzer did not choke, guys. I think he was starting today, right? Like he had that.
Max Scherzer started
yeah.
today.
L Astros. If there was anyone we wanted in our division that went to the World Series, it was definitely the Rangers.
Or
Good
or
for
maybe like the Oakland A's, just because
Now
Sure.
it's time for the Rangers to lose against the NLCS champion. They're going to Game
I
7,
want
I
it
think,
to be
tomorrow.
the
care-
Diamondbacks.
I don't care
It's
who
got to
wins
be
that.
the Diamondbacks. I'm pulling so hard for the Diamondbacks. Paul Sewell, bro.
I'm pulling for the Diamondbacks, but we all know that the best chance of the Rangers losing is if the Phillies are in the World Series.
That is fair.
I mean, I don't care who wins. I like, but those are like two of my two. Other than the Mariners, the Diamondbacks and the Phillies are two of like some of my favorite teams. So honestly, I don't really care who wins this one. I mean, I really like Corbin
Just
Carroll.
some
I really like
entertainment.
Bryce Harper.
Maybe Game
Yeah.
7, 7 games of the World Series. That'd be pretty fun to see. I mean,
yeah.
it is really going to be an entertaining World Series. But I mean, you just gotta love seeing the Astros lose. Okay, like America
Oh, yeah.
wins when the Astros lose. The Astros are the equivalent of the Dallas Cowboys, right there. It's pretty clear. No one likes the Astros at all. So, I mean, they can cry. Bye, Astros. That's pretty nice to see.
We'll wait until it's officially over. The top of the ninth just ended, so we'll wait one more half. We'll give the Astros one last chance here.
No way they're gonna score 9 in the 9th inning, right?
I'll
I'm
Altuve
saying that just because if they score
Altuve's
9,
up,
it'll be
though.
so fun.
Altuve hits 3 runs to win the game.
2 grand slams and bases
Two grand
loaded walk. That'd be pretty funny. There's no way. Come on, let's be real here.
No.
All right,
Don't jinx it, Martin. Don't anything.
it would be really funny
with
if
the
I jinxed
Astros.
it, though.
With
That'd
the
be so
Astros and the
funny.
umpires, anything can happen. Let's not tell. Let's
I
not do
can-
the wave.
I can say
not
that
yet.
I
not yet.
was the jinx. That'd still be pretty funny. All right, let's go over to college football. Let's talk about the Huskies here. Look, they're still number 5, which is nice to see. But man, was that a interesting game against the Arizona State Sun Devils. I was at that game, okay? There was a lot more booing than I thought there would be because clearly that offense just decided that after the Oregon game, they just go get drunk and show up hungover. They just didn't show up, but the defense sure did. Huge pick 6
Oh yeah.
to get us the lead. And, I mean, look, an ugly win is still a win, and we're still number 5, and we're still undefeated, unlike a certain Beavers team. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fine, right? Jacob, what do you think of this game?
I thought it was terrible. But honestly, no one cares about how the game went. It matters on the outcome of the Heisman, the college football playoff chances and Pac-12 standing chances, which honestly, nothing even went that bad. I mean, Penix dropped 2nd in Heisman now, but he's the guy above him, JJ McCarthy, is not going to be there for much longer. He hasn't even thrown for over 300 yards in the game yet. Yeah, I think honestly, even though that game was terrible, I don't think the Huskies should be worried. We always struggle against Arizona State every year for some reason, even though they are absolutely terrible. We play Stanford next week. I think we should get a dub. If we don't, that'd be pretty bad. But no, I think the Huskies are gonna be just fine.
And yeah, they should be just fine. If that defense continues to play like they did against Arizona State, and then the offense just gets back to old form, we are definitely a college football playoff contender. And we should be in that top 4 by the end of the season. Yeah, like you said, Penix. That performance was a little detrimental to his Heisman chances. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the team sport, and you just want to get out of there with the win, and that's what we were able to do. Um, oof, another cough. All right.
I would like to comment on this game because I actually watched basically the entire thing myself. It
You
was a
guys
back
do
to
not
back
know
dark
how much
game.
Josh was trying to troll us in our chat. Like, he was like, aha, Penix interception. Aha, another Penix interception. Then once we got the pick 6, he just had to say, oh, but you guys missed the extra point. Like, come on, man. We got the pick 6. Let's just celebrate that first. All right, Josh, go ahead.
But I think you got really lucky, and it shows like this weakness that every single Pac-12 team has. That any Pac-12 team on any given day can literally be any other Pac-12 team, and we were so close to that happening on Saturday. But you got really lucky on that really forced pass. I mean, Arizona State, their quarterback got hurt. They had to put in their backup in, and that's the guy who threw the interception that's basically sealed the game. So I'm saying if he didn't get hurt, I think this could have gone to overtime or an Arizona State win. I mean, that's just me. And I think it actually kind of hurts Washington's chances, especially with a very East Coast biased college football playoff
That is a good point.
committee. You are on number 5. If Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Florida State all go undefeated heading into the conference championships in Washington, and then after it, it just ends up being, I think the question would be who question would be between for that 4th spot between undefeated Washington and the loser between if Michigan and Ohio State both go to the Big Ten championship, either a one-loss Big Ten team or Washington. And this game, I think, puts just a little like if this starts a minor collapse where they're barely just scrudging up games, that's not going to look good in the committee's favor if you're trying to get into the playoff against a one-loss Big Ten team. But that's if everybody goes undefeated. Props to you. You saved the game, and I think you guys have a shot in the playoff.
Look,
Let's be real.
Yeah.
every team
Until November 18th against Oregon State. Let me finish that.
every team that wins is lucky in a way. Always. There's always some luck that goes into winning. So, I mean, yep, we were lucky, but at the end of the day, we won, and that's all that matters. Now, with Michigan and Ohio State, yeah, that game is something we really need to keep an eye on because they're both in the top 4 right now. And whoever loses really does have a good shot of losing their spot in the college football playoff, which is something we got to take advantage of, which means winning out the rest of the season and hoping whoever loses that game gets absolutely whooped. Because like if the team that loses that game gets absolutely whooped, we have a much better shot of getting in. Even if we squeak out all these games, we still go undefeated. That's a better look than either Michigan or Ohio State getting absolutely destroyed by their rival, right? I feel like that would give us a better shot, especially for that number 4. We would have to play Georgia, but I mean, any given Saturday for college football, right?
Let's just try to get the 2 or
except
3
Georgia. Any
Georgia's
given
Georgia,
Saturday,
but-
except
Georgia.
Georgia.
Let's just try to get the 2nd or 3rd spot. Let's just try not to get the 4th spot, so we
never
don't
know.
lose in the first round again, like 2016.
Yeah, I remember that game. I remember thinking we actually had a shot to win when we got that first touchdown, and then Bo Scarborough of all people decided to run all over our faces. That was rough.
Scarborough.
Alabama of all Alabama, good old Alabama. All right, Josh. It's funny you mentioned that November 18th game against Washington for Oregon State. because you're gonna be at that game. And just so you know, if Washington beats you, Jacob and I will be calling you and just screaming into your phone. Which is probably gonna happen,
Hey,
by the way.
okay. Let's not take shots yet until we still have oof, 25 days before that game. Who knows? We might trickle out of it. We might just crumble. Washington might crumble. Let's save the shots until the game.
All
But
right.
just so you know, keep your phone with you at all times, because as soon as Washington slips up, whether we have to wait all the way until Corvallis, or whether it be even sooner, you better have your phone ready, because I will be calling you.
But at the end of the day, we're gonna win. So Jacob and I are calling you at the end, anyways. Asking you
Yeah,
what
it doesn't
happened.
even matter.
What happened? Well, okay.
What
But
happened?
but first off, Josh, you gotta encounter Deion Sanders and his Colorado Buffaloes, which low key I would not be mad with either side losing. If Oregon State loses, I can laugh at Josh, and Jacob can laugh at Josh. But if Colorado loses, it's just nice to see them
No
lose.
way.
What do you think about
There's
this?
absolutely no way that. There's
But
absolutely
but
no way
but
the Beavers
first,
lose
we
to
got to get
Colorado.
through a Pac-12 After Dark matchup against Arizona
Ooh,
this week.
Arizona.
Ooh, Arizona. Ooh, Arizona
No,
team.
no,
It's not like we
you
can.
guys got that. You
It's not
guys
like
got
we
that.
struggle against Arizona teams, unlike the two Seattle teams that played this weekend.
Yeah, but we got the win, right? Ugly win is a win at the end of the day.
But Oregon teams struggle against Washington teams.
That is true.
So. And Huskies squeaked out with both those wins, so it's not like it's really gonna matter. But I think your Oregon guys should be just fine against Arizona, Colorado, and Stanford. It's until week 12 and week 13 where you have to worry.
Washington and civil. Oh wait, shoot, I shouldn't say that. The rivalry matchup against Oregon. Yeah, they retired the Civil War nickname. What I mean, yeah,
back
I
in
get it,
story.
but
the
like,
1860s.
I get it, but like,
Oh,
come
well.
on.
Goofy. Whatever. So I mean, Oregon State is number 11 right now. I mean, that's pretty good. That's the first time they've been relevant in a hot minute for like the last decade. Sorry. I gotta take
They're
more
okay
shots.
last year.
I mean, they were good last year, but then
last year.
before that, they were like irrelevant for like a good decade. I think. Like,
We moved up a spot in a bye week. I mean, that's crazy in
Fair.
the top
I
25
mean, you gotta love when that
because of
happens.
North Carolina.
Just that in
Yeah.
any sport,
Because of
moving up in a bye week
North
is just
Carolina.
So, Oregon State has turned a lot of eyes to them. And, I mean, they are on the come up. Even though they lost to Wazoo, they look like a pretty menacing team. I won't lie.
Thank you.
That is gonna be interesting. I actually can't. After this Arizona game, I can't wait to see you guys play Colorado. That'd be really interesting. Cause like, whoever loses, I will be happy at the end of the day. It's a win-win. I think. I don't know, Jacob. What do you think about
More
the Colorado,
happy
Oregon
if
State?
Colorado wins. More happy.
I do not like Colorado. No, only the goat and greatest
Goat
player
Chuck.
of all
Jacob's
time,
king.
Travis Hunter.
Yep.
My glorious king. He's the only. Okay, he's like the only player that I like on
Fair
what do you
enough.
call it? On
Very,
Colorado.
very.
And I like the running back school. But yeah, I don't like Shadur. With his little watch. Shadur. Like no, I don't like that. No.
Yeah,
Just stop.
Colorado has lost a lot of its love.
Yeah.
Just the amount of overposting before like the whole Taylor Swift thing happened. It was all Colorado for a good minute. All right, let's move on from the football stuff. Let's go over to the Seattle Kraken. Jacob, I don't know if we mentioned this to you, but Josh has pledged to run a mile for every goal the Kraken give up this season. And let's just say
Yesterday's mileage was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday's mileage was like
4
like,
miles.
really
by
bad.
the end of this season, Josh will be fully trained for a marathon. That's all I'm gonna say. So like, This is the Kraken are not looking good.
Dude,
It's gotten so bad to the point where people are already saying the Kraken season is over because they are what 1-4
Because it is.
and 1, and they only got what 3 points. Not good.
dude, it's so early.
It is early, but to fall behind that early is not a good thing at all. Josh, what do you think about these past few games for the Kraken?
We got the win against the Hurricanes, 7-4. We had 7 different goal scorers, including a first career goal for Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, new Kraken that we just called up, because somebody got hurt. Oh, it was Andre Burakovsky
Burakovsky.
got hurt, and he's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, that's
Jesus,
not good
that's a
for
while.
for a
Leading goal
forward that we
scorer
picked
too,
up from
right?
the leading
Last
goal
year.
scorer. And he just signed a 5-year, 27.5 million contract, and he had a really he didn't even he missed the entire playoff run for the Kraken last year as well. So just like more injuries for him, and we just keep on missing him, and that just like that absolutely sucked. And for the other games though, gave up a 4 bomb to the Colorado Avalanche and gave up another 4 bomb 4-1 to Rangers as well. That's 8 miles I had to run collectively. Well, that's 12 miles I ran this week. Each of
That's
the 3
insane.
teams that we previewed last week um ended up giving up 4 goals, which was just a little bit under what I expected, but I got the job done, as people on Strava can see. I overdid it a little bit, but yeah, just the I think it's like more the offense. Like the offense just can't. There's only so much the goalies can do. Um, both goalies giving up less than on average 3 goals, less than 3 goals a game. Including Joey Decord, only 2.5 goals in his 2 games. He's actually done pretty good, been able to get the spectacular saves. Um, but yeah, offense other than that Carolina Hurricanes game, which was completely unexpected, still Kraken offense has done absolutely nothing. A big injury like our best forward being out for 6 to 8 weeks, which is a long time, and it's not going to be good for the Seattle Kraken because the season's over and I'll have to run through all of it.
I think Josh needs to sign up for a marathon by the time the season ends. All right, let's go over to. I hate being sick. Let's go over to the Seattle Sounders, who are on quite a high right now. They blanked the St. Louis. They blanked St. Louis, and now they got that number 2 seed in the MLS playoffs, and they are hosting FC Dallas for game 1. Then they go to FC Dallas for game 2, I believe, and then
Yep.
back at home for game 3. It is going to be a huge atmosphere at Lumen Field. Josh, what do you want to see from this Sounders team, especially now that we're in the playoffs?
I want to see the fans show up because it's tickets are literally gonna cost like $50. Huge atmosphere.
I'm trying to hype it up here.
Let's be realistic. We got a shot. We got the momentum. We beat the number 1 team in the West. Even though they clinched the number 1 seed, they actually had a little bit to play for. But we got it done. We got them to struggle. We got them to get really, really mad and almost start up a fight. In the end, and we played hard. We took a we made a lot of contact, having I think 19 fouls in that game,
Ooh.
a couple yellow cards, but we're fine. It doesn't really there's no real penalty for that many fouls. Um, but we don't get to have to ruin kids' Halloweens, and we get to play right before Halloween. A nice good old Monday night game against FC Dallas. FC Dallas just like they rose, I think, like couple spots because Portland went from the 7 seed and dropped out of the playoffs entirely.
Wow.
So they got eliminated on decision day for the second year in the row while they were in playoff position. That's heartbreaking for them and completely amazing for us Sounders fans. But yeah, I think just keep that momentum at home. We haven't done great at home, but Stephen Fry has had 14 clean sheets, has earned the Golden Glove already for most clean sheets in a season,
That's why
and I
he's the
think
goat.
on that's why he's the GOAT, Stephen Fry. And I think with that defense, we'll be able to take game one at home. Hopefully, we win in regulation, but I think it'll go to penalty kicks.
And what do you think of Nicholas Oduro saying this will be his last season with the Sounders?
Oh yeah, I forgot to completely touch on that. Yeah, um, it sucks. He's been like an amazing team player for this organization for a long time, and um, he will be missed. But hopefully, we can end this playoff run with a ring, another ring on his finger.
Good to see. All right, Jacob, let's go over to the NBA because opening week is happening soon. We gotta talk about Wemby here. Like we have seen him all over
Oh
the
yeah.
internet going absolutely crazy. His wingspan, what 8 foot, insane. What do you think about Wemby and
hmm
what will he do with those Spurs?
I mean, everyone going before the preseason, they were all saying he was going to be a bust because all these guys that get hyped, like how he did, ended up being either busts or just never able to, be fully what they're supposed to be. Like Zion, even though he's an amazing player, he just was never what people said he was supposed to be. But Wemby, I think it's going to be slightly different. I think this guy is going to be insane. Dude, I mean, look at his build, first off. Look at his build. And it's not like he's super, super skinny, even though he doesn't weigh that much and he's tall. He's like muscular. And he is like able to do things that I don't think anyone else has been able to do in NBA history. Maybe Kevin Durant, but he's like 4 inches taller than Kevin Durant. Like it's not even fair at this point. He could play any position on the court. You saw him nutmeg. Who was it? Who was guarding him? Capella was Capella guarding him when he nutmegged him. That's an elite center. Capella is an elite center, and that was just shocking, shocking, especially for a guy at that height. I've never seen it before ever. That's like something I'd do on like 2K. Like I make the 7.5 or 7.4. I don't even know if you can do that. 7.3 sharpshooter build. Like it doesn't make sense how he's able to do all this.
And we gotta talk about Dame time going to Milwaukee. Like if the Bucks weren't already a contender, how much does this make them even more?
I mean, I think it's a great addition, but I don't see how this is gonna make them more of a contender because they were solid with Drew Holiday, and I think if they would have kept Drew Holiday, they would have been just fine because he is an elite defender, and on the offensive side he is solid. But I mean, Dame is obviously one of the greatest point guards in the modern era, and that uh, he's gonna definitely help out the Bucks. But how much more, I'm not sure because Drew Holiday was also an elite point guard.
All right, I want some early predictions here from you guys. Josh, early prediction: who will win the NBA Finals? Give me your hot take.
Oh, NBA Finals. I mean, I watched a lot of Dame while he's in Portland, and let's go with the favorite. I'll take the Bucks. I think, I think Giannis and Dame will be able to perform together or like build that uh build that connection really, really quickly, and I think that will give the Bucks to go back to the finals.
And Jacob, who is your early prediction for the Larry O'Brien Trophy?
I think there's just so many teams you can go off of. I think I have Could I give you 2 teams from the West and 2 teams from the East?
Why not?
Because there's just too many to name. In the West, the 2 teams that I think have the best shot are, okay, obviously, I'm going to say this one team. Denver Nuggets, they won it last
Yeah.
year, and their team is just all around amazing. And yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you put them on there? They just won it. Another team I could put on there that is heavily, heavily underrated is the LA Clippers. I think
Ooh.
everyone thinks they're overrated, so then they underrate them. And they're always like, oh, Kawhi gets hurt too much. Paul George gets hurt too much. They're not able to do it. I think they'll be able to maybe pull it out this year finally. I mean, they
Wow.
usually don't I don't think they have in a while.
You're leaving out
ever.
Phoenix?
I like Phoenix, but it's just that too many good players are in one spot. I mean, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. We won't know how that will work, and all these super teams end up failing, except for the Warriors. So I just can't really put them out there. Like I think it's going to be the Brooklyn Nets all over again.
Yeah.
Just going to have to be a big rebuild in 2 to 3 years. But out of the East, my favorite team, the Philadelphia 76ers, I think they definitely have a good shot of coming out of the East. They have really solid all-around team. I think Embiid is that good and will carry them to the finals.
Interesting.
I think he's able to do that. And another team that I have to put on there, which I'm not going to put the Bucks because the Bucks, it's the Bucks. They're already a favorite, and Josh, you already said them. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Chicago Bulls.
Ooh.
I know it's a kind of random take, but I think DeMar DeRozan is heavily underrated, and I think they're going to be able to make it far in the East this year. I think they're going to be like the Heat, like how the Heat were last year, and have kind of a not too great record, but still be able to make the playoffs, and then just during the playoffs lock in, get playoff dubs, win the series and stuff, and just go far. I guess you could just say.
All right. Me personally, I'm gonna say I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I'm gonna say Miami Heat on the back of emo Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo,
Adebayo.
Adebayo,
You said it right the first time.
and Mr. Tyler Hero. I think they will be a team to be reckoned with this season in the NBA. Emo Jimmy Butler for the win, guys. I think that's it. What? Josh with the Bucks. Jacob had Clippers.
I'll
Literally like
narrow it down to the 76ers.
like 10% of the teams in the NBA.
He said
narrow it down to the 76ers.
He said 76ers, and I got the Miami Heat. Crazy predictions. Once again, sports are in full force right now. You got the World Series happening soon. You got football in the middle of it. College football on fire. Hockey season just getting started. Playoffs in the MLS. And now NBA is starting back up again. Sports are back, and life is good. We'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Emerald City Sports, the podcast. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you guys next time for another week of crazy Seattle sports.